Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal where everything is going totally to plan. We will have no problems of any kind today. So let's start by liberating some data, shall we? I think we should probably take these in descending skull difficulty so that we come into this one as fresh as possible. Because 4-skull missions can be very difficult sometimes. So we have an operative in place in a Davian research facility, and for the past year they've been gathering sensitive research data for us. They've notified us that they're ready for us to extract that data, and we need a deniable force to arrange that extraction. Hey, that's what we do best. Get denied. The research facility is not connected to any data networks, and all the secure laboratories are far enough underground that wireless signals are blocked. To get the information out, we're going to need to position a satellite receiver directly above the site. Your task will be to place positioning beacons to allow the satellite to lock onto the research data and download it. Okay. That sounds like a thing we can do. Drive real fast, drop a thing, shoot some guys while you're doing it. I mean, he doesn't say that here, but come on. You don't hire giant robots when you could hire a truck, unless you need the giant robots. So, at 4 skulls, we're likely to see a fair amount of actually decent salvage. Fortunately, the salvage terms here are extremely generous. Let me tab out here and have a quick look at our scoring list notes. So we still need 5 assaults, some of which we don't have any pieces of, and then 3 heavies, all of which we do have some pieces of. So we're not exactly desperate for salvage here. I think the 3 probably makes sense. And then while we're tabbed out of the game, I suppose we ought to do that thing, that thing that we gotta do. Glorious blood wheel. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we shall learn. Today it is how to grind them beneath our heels. Hey, it's a classic. We know this one. The bad news is that this is actually kind of a tough one. The good news is... I was going to say the good news is +1 difficulty modifier, but I was misremembering apparently. It's only 0.5. Still, a 4.5 skull force is very serious. We can definitely bring something down on them. So let me rearrange my off-screen stuff here, such that I can see the list of mechs that we need to bring home, just so I know who to hit and how. And I think we're going to take it exactly like this. We're getting in pretty good with the Draconis Combine at this point. These guys like us a lot. So, 4.5 skulls worth of mech. Also, I do know how target acquisition works. I suspect we're going to want to be able to move relatively quickly. That's a thing to factor in. It may not be ideal to bring the Crab and the Annihilator. It's probably still reasonable to bring one of them. We just want to make sure we can move, quickly. So, I do like the Orion a lot for missions like this. Obviously, the Grasshopper has a lot of value here as well. Got to move fast, and it's a hot biome. So maybe we start up like this, and then if I did want to bring, let's say, the Annihilator in the slowest slot, and then if we try to run that, no, that's too heavy. What if we try to do the Gauss Rifle Cataphract in that spot instead? There you go, that's 4.5. And I do love that Gauss Rifle. This thing runs pretty hot, but, we don't always have to fire the large lasers. So, let's take it pretty seriously pilot-wise as well. I know we've been working to level up some of our B-string pilots as they move up to the top tier, but here, let's get it right, shall we? So, in the Cataphract, we absolutely want a pilot with breaching shot. Does it matter terribly which one? We're unlikely to be in position to use sensor lock very effectively, so let's do uncrackable. We probably want Cruz in control of the Annihilator. That's always been a very strong pairing. And then who is the fast-moving pilot who will control the Orion? We don't need... So I would like somebody with sensor lock and bulwark and sure footing. We do not really need heat coolant vent on this thing. It runs pretty cool as it is. So this could be a job for Tigertail. Tigertail's aim's not great, but he is the only pilot we have who has this particular mix of skills. So I think he's in... And the Orion not necessarily being able to target the area that we want to target is not such a big deal. Of all of our mechs, this is probably the one that groups its damage least effectively. All the mechs we have in this mission, I mean. And all of these guys do have jump jets, so they can land a DFA if they need to. Oh, this cataphract's going to be pretty bad at the stomping. At the beneath our heels part of the mission. Do we want to maybe change up? I mean, what else would we bring in? We probably don't really want to use the Warhammer. No, this is how we'll do it. We'll just figure it out. He'll just have to figure it out. I'm a little worried about his relatively lower armor. It's alright, Uncrackable knows what he's doing. He's taken a shot in the face before and survived. And it's good for us to... It's good for us to bring Tiger Tail on missions. It's good for us to get XP on the lower pilots. I'm just a little nervous is all. Because we have seen some very, very difficult stuff happen at Four Skull. That natural difficulty variance feels like a much bigger deal at the higher skull levels. Also, what have I done to this? I'm moving my computer around to try to make sure stuff was plugged in. I've made a terrible mess here. Okay. Sounds like a messy scenario, and the satellite's only going to be overhead for a short time. So we're going to have a limited number of turns to get the targeting beacons down. We probably have plenty of speed to get the job done, though. The Dragonfly is going to have to do a lot of hard sprinting and flying, but I think we can pull this off. The biggest danger on a mission like this is not really you not having the time to get it done, but it's the need for speed causing you to position your units in such a way that they can get caught out or hit from the back. Alright, you need to move into position in the 3 marked locations out there. Okay, so there is one on the far side of the base. Expect significant Davian resistance. Yeah, I mean, I know how that goes. We're on a very tight schedule. After the data's been uploaded, get confirmation and evac. Got it. I saw a hell of a lot of opposition on the way in. Okay.
So lovely. So serene.
So, 10 rounds. We just have to have a guy just end a turn in the beacon, basically. You don't have to stay in it for one full turn. You just have to be in the beacon at the end of one turn. If we're trying to get the Dragonfly way out here, it probably makes the most sense to take this this lower route around.
Certainly.
Who's gonna be this guy? Also, is this is my evac point? That is a marker for additional Davian forces. Okay, well there's gonna be a fair amount of money on the line here. This I suppose could be... This could be the Orion. The Orion's tough enough to be able to survive something like that and can jump well enough, I think, to get over there, going the short way. We're going to move the Cataphract up here because it's also going to jump. And the Annihilator is going to follow this way because the Annihilator is the one who's going to try to get there. We might be able to pick that up with the Dragonfly on his way through toward the place where he's eventually going.
Consider it done.
But we can't necessarily rely on that, and also, you know, the enemy is going to complicate our plan, one has to assume.
Hello, new contact.
Okay, this is going to have to be apparently a 2-step jump for the Orion.
Lifting off.
He does only have 2 jump jets, you gotta remember. Okay, this could be difficult. So, as a reminder, the rules here, the restriction beneath our heels. Every mech must step on an opposing mech at some point during the mission. Each one of my mechs must get 1 step off. So that is either a melee attack on a vehicle or a downed mech enemy, or a DFA. And I think it has to hit. Where I have it worded here, I think the spirit of this is the attack has to actually connect. So, could be tricky.
I understand.
This one has been difficult for us before. What are we looking at here? There's a lot of them, but they're not particularly heavy. 45, 65, 45.
Receiving you.
For that to be the case, for us to be seeing 45s on a 4-skull mission means there's going to be a lot of enemies. I think. So we should be concerned. This is not a reason to feel safe. This is a reason to feel exactly the opposite of safe. Do I want to sprint out to a position where I have vision? I mean, we gotta get close, right? So that we can get the stomp.
I got you.
Let's stay in cover for the moment.
I hear ya. Moving fast.
Alright, so we can see 5 mechs right now. I bet there's at least... There's 2 full lances up right now, and probably also a reinforcement lance that will show up later. That's my guess.
Awaiting orders.
Obviously not going to be super easy. So, I think we can have the Dragonfly move away from the thing. I don't think we want to stop and end our turn here. I think we want to keep moving. So maybe we jump to here and just try to punch a hole. We're not going to be able to hit with almost anything, though. If I do this, at least we could take a shot with the medium lasers. We can see what that is, and that could be a catapult or something. That could be something we do have to take care of. I guess that's information we should get. And he'll serve as a spotter for the Annihilator. Good luck, man. It is a Thunderbolt 5 SE. That is the only kind of Thunderbolt we have completed, according to my records, so we don't have to be terribly careful with that thing. That's definitely a higher priority than... Well, the Hatchet Man does have an AC-10 that's going to be relatively easy to remove, just because it's a pretty small mech. Does it keep the ammo... It's keeping the ammo in its center. We should just try to core it, I think. Okay, we got an expose. So the Dragonfly is just gonna haul ass right through here, obviously. Which is it's gonna give us some tactical advantages, and he's gonna be kind of tough to pin down, but also there's gonna be some problems.
Roger.
Alright, so what's your deal? You natively move on 3, you're just also a Hatchet Man. I think what we want to do on this one is try to take the leg, see if we can get a stomp for one or both of our pilots.
Roger that.
Okay, we got him with the Narc. I probably shouldn't have fired the Narc at a Hatchet Man. That's a waste. It does only have 6 shots in it, so we should be careful with it.
Ready to rock.
Boy. So we have a 55, a 45, and a 70. These two are going to have to fight a Lance Plus by themselves, it looks like, which I'm not wild about. But if I move close, and we do take that leg out, we've already done an aim shot on him, so his movements, or his initiative order is hampered. Am I in his side arc right now? I actually can't see him right now. We gotta make sure that we're close enough. I mean, we're close enough to hit him with a melee attack from here. We know that. We can already tell. Boy, I don't want to step closer in this way and just be like out in the open with only 800 armor. What do my legs actually look like? 100. So we DFA for 180. I could just go for it now. Oh no, I don't jump far enough. Well, never mind then. Alright, I'm gonna step out here, get 2 points of evasion, and just hope that it doesn't end with this mech getting torn to pieces. I'm a little worried about the 70. Well, we'll have some information here. Oh, it's an archer. It is a thing to be worried about, for sure.
Engage target.
Okay, well, we've softened him up significantly. We didn't do any more damage to that leg.
Good to go.
It does look like we're going to have plenty of opportunity to maybe get into some trouble here. So that's good. You're going to be able to reach the target zone next turn, no problems. I'm not going to stress about it. And we'll just go ahead and give this guy everything. Alright, that's his autocannon and his axe hand.
Give him everything you got.
So there is a 45-ton something over there that we haven't seen yet. It could just be another Hatchet Man. It's not a fire starter. That would be a thing to be concerned about, but fire starters are 35s. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, the Cataphract is in fact going to sustain considerable damage here.
What's the plan?
How are your legs? 120, so you'll take 95 damage to each leg from a DFA. You don't actually even get to try it. Because you're jumping a short distance, you would get 0 evasion off of this. How much? We have 63 resolve. So I could do this and then vigilance. I think that we might actually need to do that. I'm gonna use vigilance. We're gonna stomp this guy right now. We're gonna stomp on his weak side. It'll hopefully just hit the body for 180 damage. Unfortunately, I don't get to specify a landing angle because I'd love to do this such that we had one of our arms facing the opponents.
You got it.
Oh no, I did a melee attack. That was a huge waste. Well,
Yes, Commander.
it's not the end of the world. Okay, we need to threaten this thing. We also need to present ourselves as a target because I gotta
Heading out.
try to provide a little bit of a baffle for our poor Warhammer over there, or our poor Cataphract. So it would be great to remove some guns here. His missilery suite is on his right side. Only one of the medium lasers is over here, though. I guess 2 of them are in the center torso, so he's a symmetrical design, aside from the missilery suite. So that's what we're shooting at, and we will definitely keep the Narc beacon on for this one.
Targeting for Elm Strip.
Okay, that's not bad. Not too worried about that. In fact, I think we're going to just reserve now. I don't think I want to move the Dragonfly until after this guy's had his turn, because we can draw off some fire here. Yep, I had no worries about taking actual damage. Dragonfly's got lots of armor. We got to make sure we use it. So we want to travel as much as we can here. Honestly, I think this might just be a sprint. He does have a distance to cover. You see this thing, it's a blackjack. Okay, you know what? As far as 45-ton mechs go, a blackjack's actually kind of a little bit of a threat. I'm going to do a jump just because I'm afraid of showing my rear armor too much. And then, what's your heat like? You have no heat, effectively. I guess I could make this... You know what? I'm just going to do this as a stomp.
Firing jump jet.
Somehow I landed on his foot, it looks like, and I managed to melt what was left of the leg. That's a pretty good outcome, actually. I feel pretty alright about that one. And I feel pretty good about the bulwark there, forcing the bulwark. Although I sure wish I had gotten the...
Waiting on you, Commander.
I had the DFA command entered in, and then I stopped to get a different thing done, and just... I'm very disappointed. When I switched off to hit vigilance, I did not go back to the jump command. I went to the move command, which is why that came out as a punch. All right, Davian forces are being told to intercept the Annihilator. Yeah, you go ahead and try. Please focus all of your attention on the Annihilator. That's exactly what I would like to happen. All right. So because the Cataphract went early in the turn, it does get to move now. I am thinking, oh, are you serious? I can't... Oh, I figured I'd be able to make it to the trees. I cannot make it to a covered position. That complicates things somewhat. Yeah, that's real not good. Well... So then I want to jump back to here. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to break some lines of sight. Like, we're definitely behind a thing. I guess I'm just tall enough for that not to cause an issue. So we jump over and then we use a turn as much as I can here. We use an aim shot and try to knock out the missilery suite. It has a reasonable chance of working. Alright, excellent. Uncrackable's, like, very good at his job.
Critical hit.
Got ourselves a couple points of evasion there. It's not totally ideal. I think we're going to have a hard time getting a non-DFA stomp attack off with him. But
Awaiting orders.
I think that bringing down that hatchet man in that way is exactly what we are going to be doing. Okay, so you can jump out, and then we'll be able to make the distance we have to make here.
Firing jump jet.
I guess I could have just shot the Thunderbolt with the flamethrowers and then jumped away, thanks to Ace Pilot. Because it's not actually dealt with. But I'm looking at this thing and thinking, these guys are pretty soft. And he's carrying ammo in his center torso. Then again, I don't really get to aim. You know what? I'm going to shoot here. We're going to turn off a medium laser, apparently. We're just going to go for the other leg. Boy, he's tough. He's a tough kill. Yeah, I guess let's go center. Because we could potentially, on the center, get a kill as soon as we break the armor.
Need something, Chief?
And you do not have infinite armor. We can't be totally cavalier with you. But I think I might run up, because the Griffin's not actually... It's actually less dangerous as we get closer to it. This guy's not a huge threat either, and we could just fire into that opened up side.
Move into position.
And then this is a position from which I can potentially get a death from above off on somebody. Alright, that went very well. I really like just like that core gameplay idea of shear a side off of a guy and then fire into the big hole you created. It feels good every time you take advantage of it.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, the Annihilator is now in position to do some horrible things to someone.
Coordinates received.
We have the back armor on this Thunderbolt. Blackjack is also a threat, but the Thunderbolt's incredibly easy to shoot. So I think I'm just going to take that.
This should be good.
Yeah, it's just... Even without aiming, the Annihilator puts out such a huge amount of damage. Okay, I'm working on it. Ow. Okay, that's a problem.
My internals are taking a beating.
It is a little bit of a bummer that we've eliminated all their slow mechs, so now everything they have left just goes in one block at the beginning of the turn. Yeah, we gotta get the Cataphract over to that beacon.
Reporting minimal damage.
We still have 4 turns. They're making noise like this is a really desperate situation, but it's very not. Okay, I think we probably have to not worry about the DFA right now. You know what? We do still have time for it. I could do this. Is this the arm my Gauss rifle's in? No. Where my Gauss rifle's in the body. Okay, it's in the body. It is in that side of the body, which is not ideal. Pretty good chance of the DFA getting a kill here. I'm gonna do this thing again, and this time we're just gonna execute it correctly. Vigilance. Jumping melee attack. There we go.
I'm on him. Go time.
That's what you want to see. It's a small amount of structural damage to the legs. It's a very big stomp. Okay, you get to do the thing this turn while cooling off. We should still have plenty of time for the Cataphract to reach the target zone over here. So we could try to put together a situation where we knock the legs out of one of these things and then step on him while he's downed. That would be ideal. The question is, do I think that that's too unlikely to work? So we have 155 damage on the legs here and 145 there. If we're going for that, we're doing it like this, right? And that is an amount of damage we could put together in theory if Tiger Tail was a better shot. It's also an amount of damage that we can, you know, try to put together over a couple of hits here. I mean, he's still directing 70% of the hits down to that. Yeah, this might work. Okay, he got the leg open.
What can I do for you?
The Annihilator needs to get close to an enemy. So I think my plan is to come down here and shoot at the Blackjack so that I can potentially stomp on the Hatchet Man.
Got it.
And this Hatchet Man is missing his axe, so remember, it's not super dangerous to be over here.
Got it. There's more
Okay,
where that
still
came from.
3 medium lasers and an autocannon. Alright, that's fine.
Confirmed.
Let's move you to real cover. We could generate some evasion too, right? Not a lot, unfortunately. I do, this way, get to face my left arm toward them, which is a good, useful thing to do, and we're just going to shoot this guy in his side arc, and who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and take his leg out.
Engaging target.
Actually, got very close there.
Watch my six.
It's not... The AI loves to run up to point blank to use their
Commander.
PPCs on you. I'm not sure why that's such a computer favorite maneuver. Let's move you up into a threatening position, but also he has not recovered any of the stability damage he took from his jumping attack. We should probably give him a break every once in a while. Alright, so if we successfully knock this guy over with an aimed shot, I believe it will move his initiative down to 1.
Confirmed.
Which would mean that the Orion would then get to step on him before his turn in the next round. So let's hope that that is what happens here. Okay, we did some reasonable damage there. And yeah, it is showing initiative 1. We are definitely within normal stepping
Waiting
range.
on you, Commander.
So all we have left to do is make this thing happen, and I am dedicated to it. We've put in all this very good work, which means I actually have to be pretty careful not to... We have to get close enough to him that he can't run away from me, but I also can't shoot him. So I'm gonna get to right here, and we're just gonna brace, and
Don't need to tell me twice.
Okay.
feels a little silly.
Let's hit him where it hurts.
Listen, you gotta take the blood wheel seriously. Also, not too happy to see that in fact their guy is moving on initiative 2, but I guess it doesn't matter because they're going to have gone last when we enter initiative 2, so we will get to go first on 2.
Got nothing, you hear me?
This will totally work. Also, that mech is taking a real
I'm
beating.
losing armor left and right.
Well under half armor. Hooray, we did it!
Locked on for physical attack.
Wow. There's 180 damage to a single location. It didn't destroy anything? It almost wrecked his other leg, it looks like? Oh wait, it can't have gone to the leg. It would have been... Oh no, wait, sorry. I was looking at his DFA damage. It was like 90. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, you are going to do this and place us a beacon. And you're also going to cut this Griffin's leg off. We're not firing into the optimal arc here. I guess, yeah, knock the leg out.
Firing.
That's a shame. You don't want to see the Gauss rifle miss.
Critical hit. Awaiting orders.
Okay, your job is to murder this guy, and I think you probably can pull it off.
Of course.
That's the amount of faith that I have in him. You know what? I bet you can probably maybe do the thing we want you to do. Maybe.
Unloading a full salvo.
And if he doesn't die from this, he will at least be in no position to fire his guns.
Reporting. Critical hit.
I hear ya.
Alright, the time has come. We don't have a lot of ways of doing this, but let's do it in a way that doesn't leave our back armor open to anyone.
Going in feet first.
Oh, tell me you didn't... Okay. I was going to say, tell me you didn't miss that. That would be embarrassing.
Enemy down.
Oof. It's a lot of damage, man. Alright, they've locked onto the beacon successfully. Beginning transmission. Okay, Farah, give me a heads up when we're done, and we'll move in for the pickup. So I think we got this under control. It looks pretty under control. And at this point, everybody got their stomp off. We were only able to get one of them without, unfortunately, having to use a DFA, which means we took a lot of armor damage here. We'll fire exactly one flamethrower.
Firing.
Okay. The heat was not
Tango
necessary.
down.
And you can... I don't exactly remember where our
Coordinates
pickup point
confirmed.
was, but we'll head this way. It's over here somewhere.
Standing by.
Okay. Why don't we try doing that to you? Let's see how you like it.
Got the angle. Take it. Let's get this done. That's a kill. Orders.
And then, I mean, this guy is totally trivial, right?
Order acknowledged.
Looks like we gotta turn something off. Okay.
Copy that.
Man, really?
Commander?
Missing with the Gauss rifle is very bad.
Affirmative.
That said, we have better pilots here to clean up your mess for you.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
Actually, she missed with a lot of shots too. This guy is an expert evader. He is avoiding way more shots than he should be, based on the numbers.
I can't take much more of this.
And they have not even managed to figure out how to get through the armor on that thing.
As you wish. Ready.
Right, one round while we await further instructions. There may be a wrinkle that we have not yet discovered here.
Affirmative.
Well, we have lots and lots of resources left.
Mech destroyed.
Guess
Confirmed.
we'll just see. Where's the evac point? It's okay, it's up there. Let's do our best to head in that direction then.
Moving to full throttle.
Boy, that cataphract is actually really bad at managing its heat. Yeah, you just get up here.
Got it.
Okay. That's it. Further instructions is just leave.
Reporting.
Like us to do it before any more enemy
understand.
reinforcements arrive, which I'm right there with them. That sounds great.
Receiving you.
We might not be able to get out in 3 turns, to be perfectly honest with you. I think the Orion is going to be a problem there. So we're gonna miss that little bit of extra pay. Oh, you can't... shoot, okay. Both of these guys may take more than that amount of time to get out then.
Good to go.
I mean, it's not like we're in a lot of danger here. Even if enemy reinforcements do show up, we can still just leave through the evac zone, but I believe we will lose a little bit of pay.
Standing by.
See, we might be able to jump like here, then here, then here. That's going to be my plan.
Engaging jump jet. Yep. Engaging jump jet.
It used to be the case that if you went through one of these whole missions and then you didn't extract your lance within the timer,
Commander?
you would just lose, even though that's completely insane because, like, what? Like, after the timer runs out, your mech could just walk forward again and be...
Confirmed.
obviously, they agree. I don't need to complain about it, but
Copy that.
I'm still mad about the mission that I lost that way during the previous series. Oh, really? He can't even... Uh-oh. A boombox might have to go the long way. We might have to jump back down and try a different thing.
Good to go.
Okay, inbound kill team. Reinforcements arriving shortly. I could be more concerned. Are you... seriously? Huh. You just can't stand up here. Despite the fact that that
Jump jet.
looks very standable and is actually... it presents a larger standable area than this does, I think. Okay, well he has to run all the way around, so this is going to be a minute.
10-4.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements.
Oh, and that... their dropship careened into the planet at an incredible speed, which you would think would just end the threat immediately.
I copy.
Oh, whatever that lance is, it has something that moves on one. More than one something that moves on one. It's in theory, a serious enemy. Holy crap, you are so bad at jumping. Alright, we're gonna come around to here.
Roger.
Might be able to get up onto that. It's like actually non-zero danger here, because he could get caught. Then again, it may well have dropped the reinforcements underneath the map,
Affirmative.
as far as we can tell, so who knows.
Waiting for orders.
Out of here.
On it. Waiting for the right play.
It's not even like this thing has only one jump jet. It has half of the maximum jump jets it could hold. I wasn't trying to be stingy with the mobility. It's just, this is apparently a very challenging hill face. I think we should be able to make the move here, though.
Waiting for orders.
Single sprint, yeah. Okay, we did it! Hooray! That took an embarrassingly long time to extract from, but we got there.
Mission successful.
And our ships land above the ground. That's some new piloting tech that Samiri picked up in flight school. Alright, so 627k. Unfortunately, I don't think we have any valuable salvage here at all. I mean, we get to finish an archer. That's cool. But we don't need... Yeah, we don't need any of this stuff. Hold on, let me double check. The mediums that we need... Because some of these are mediums. The Vindicator 1R, we're good on... Yeah, we don't need any of that. Okay, let's look at the other stuff. Ooh, actually, plus damage LRM-15. Pretty good weapon. This is a bad arm mod. Is there anything else cool hidden down here? No. Alright, well, I guess let's just grab the plus damage AC2? That doesn't feel right. Maybe it's a mech part? Because none of this stuff is, like, great. You really don't need plus accuracy on a PPC. Energy weapons are already very accurate, and... Yeah, I don't know. We don't need any of this stuff, honestly. We'll take this. We're going to get a significant amount of it anyway, because we have a lot of pieces of total loot. So that did put some of our mechs in a place where I would not necessarily want to use them on another job. Let's have a look at what the next job looks like, and then we'll figure out if we need to take a moment and repair. Because we could hang out in orbit for a day or two while Yang's team gets some of those mechs put back together. But of course, yeah, I don't think we want to put another 70-ton mech into active rotation. In fact, we're thinking about maybe pulling a 70-ton mech from rotation. I don't really necessarily want to have two versions of the Cataphract out. It's just one of them has the electronic warfare stuff, and the other one has the Gauss rifle. And if we were going to remove this for a lighter mech, I would definitely want to make sure the Gauss rifle was equipped somewhere. It might be the case that it's wise to put it on the Annihilator. I don't know. We'll figure it out. For right now, you're going to storage, is the point I'm making. Alright, let's figure out the next job. And of course, the first step of figuring out the next job is this. Let's see what it is exactly that we will have to do here. It's... Okay, this one doesn't have a good name because I couldn't think of a good name for what the thing is, but the deal here is we have to land a hit with at least one of each of the support class weapons. So one small laser hit, one machine gun hit, and one flamethrower hit must occur during the battle. And I changed up our mechs a little bit so that that's easier to do. We have at least two choices for each support weapon now. So let's go have a look at the. Let me actually hide that. Also, modifier on that is 0.5 plus 0.5 symbols. So do we want to take that as settling a grudge? Within the last 3 months, the Capellan Confederation has struck our facilities, personnel, and supply convoys over half a dozen times. I'd like to apologize. Some of that was definitely me. My superiors in the Concordat leadership would like to even the score, and I guess it makes a lot of sense to hire me to do it, actually. So, what do we want here in terms of salvage? At 3.5 skulls, we could still potentially see mechs from the assault class. So I don't want to go down to nothing. There's a fair amount of money on the line. I might just leave it here. If we take it to 312... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it this way, in case an assault class mech shows up that we care about. So we have to learn to hit with each of these support classes. We probably are not using this cataphract at all, so it's okay to remove that. The difficulty modifier was half a symbol, so we're running a 4-symbol lance. We probably actually won't play the Annihilator either, because it's too heavy for what we're doing. So, it makes a lot of sense to run the Dragonfly. Dragonfly is a very good delivery of flamethrower ammunition. And then, where do we have other stuff? The Warhammer has small lasers on it, so that's probably a thing we're bringing in. And then that means we need machine guns. I definitely have machine guns on one largish mech. I'm relatively sure I do, at least. Which mech was it? This thing. The Stealth Cataphract has a machine gun on it. Couple machine guns, in fact. So that, I mean, we kind of have to run these 3, right? And then we're trying to make a 4-symbol lance, so we can bring something... We gotta bring something a little tougher. I mean, I guess the Cataphract and the Dragonfly are both at 1,000 armor. The Warhammer is fairly lightly armored, but not like... It's not lightly armored in any kind of abstract sense, objective sense. It's just relative to our other giant mechs. So we could just bring the Orion again. I think that would be okay. Out of curiosity, if we wanted to bring the Stalker, is that a possibility? That is 4 symbols. And the one thing these 3 mechs do not do all that well together is shoot stuff that's far away. So actually, the Stalker might be a perfect fit. Yeah, I think I like that quite a bit. So let's change up our plan a little bit here, pilot-wise. We absolutely must have a coolant vent on the hard light. It is non-functional without coolant vent. I think it makes sense for it to be both of the toughness skills and coolant vent. You can tell Foxglove is the person we trained up in Return's image. He has exactly the same skills. Steamfitter works real well in the Dragonfly. Let's not disrupt that. This Cataphract is running 2 machine guns, an LB-10X, some medium lasers. So honestly, Uncrackable is probably not a good fit here. And actually, we might want him on the Stalker, but the Stalker also has heat problems, so it might make sense to just leave Cruz in on that one. What we want on this Cataphract is some toughness skills, and it's pretty heat inefficient. Honestly, it might be Brass? Or... who else could it be? It could be... this could be Tiger Tail. Being able to aim would be nice, though. So, somebody who has the 9 tactics and also some toughness skills. I might just put Sourdough on it. That doesn't give us the heat control, but we can do some amount of heat control by just not using the lasers all the time, which is, pretty reasonable, I think. And then this means we're going to be playing with the electronic warfare equipment for the first time in quite some time. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't 100% remember how it works. So there'll probably be some fumbling around with that. But it does give us some cool options, especially in an urban environment where there'll be lots of line of sight blockers. I'm excited. This could be a really cool mission. We have to land a hit, not just fire the weapon, but actually hit with it. With the support weapons, that tends not to be a big distinction because evasion does not lower your chance to hit with support weapons, and if you can fire the weapon at all, you are already within its optimum range. So you almost never fire a support weapon at less than an 85% hit chance. So it's really just a matter of utilizing cover to get close enough to fire things. And I made sure when I put that on the wheel that we had one relatively heavy mech with each of the support weapon types available, and one relatively light mech with each of the support weapon types. So in theory, if we roll that on a 2-skull mission, it won't just be impossible. We should still be able to pull it off. which is why I built up that new blackjack, because I wanted to make sure we had access to some light, fast machine gun work. I don't know, that blackjack design, which I have not. I don't think I've clicked on it, so you haven't gotten to see it yet. It's weird. It's definitely not the way blackjacks usually work. I armored it up, and it's a weird-looking mech. Okay, we've arrived at the location. Move forward, kill everything. Got it. There will be reinforcements.
Lovely architecture they have here.
We should move Steamfitter so he's not the furthest to the left, because I think that makes him talk less. Alright, so we definitely want to move forward, but we probably want to let the cataphract set the pace. Let's try to keep people close to it for the moment. This will be how we do our approach. I didn't plan that, by the way. I wasn't really thinking about the close range mech, the electronic warfare stuff on the close range mech to make this particular wheel option easier, but it is nice. It does work out. So I think we'll probably just reserve everybody down to 1 here. We'll let them approach while we sit here in our cloaking field. And then we can figure things out after that. So sensor lock still works to reveal us, and then also if they get people within the circle, they can shed some of our stealth charges, right? Ooh, also stray shots. Stray shots totally still work. So maybe spread out a little bit. We also have access to, remember, the active probe. So it performs sensor lock on all enemies within 250 meters. That's pretty powerful. So how are we going to do this? We know whatever this is, it moves on 2. It's only 60 tons, though.
What can I do for you?
And we got to make sure that we are actually getting our mechs close enough to do some real harm here. You are not heated up, but I might jump in and blast him with the flamethrowers just to make it so he can't fire the PPC probably, and then also, obviously, that has the benefit of fulfilling one of our mission objectives, one of our wheel objectives. So that's a 60 over there. Do I want to aim more specifically, or do I want to save that for the other mechs? You know what? I think I'm going to do it here. We're just going to try to drill that torso section.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, we definitely got some hits. Flamethrower hit achieved. Ah, they have something that moves on 1.
Receiving you.
There is a heavier enemy out here. Well, we could shoot down... we could use the stun PPCs to try to break down one of these mechs real fast. I could, move to here, fire, which reveals me, but then I get unrevealed automatically at the beginning of the next turn, right? I think that's how it works.
Moving out. Taking the shot.
Oops, I leveled an entire building by accident.
Yes, Commander.
Like a big building. That's, well, I mean,
on you,
listen.
Commander.
These things are bound to happen. Boy, you are really slow. Alright, I think we're focused on the dragon, because the other dude is unlikely to do a lot of damage next turn. Let's just reduce the amount of damage we could take in the very near future. And that's pretty good. With the LB-10X, will put that guy on his ass.
Engaging with target.
And actually, we did a lot of damage. This is some pretty good accidental clustering there. Alright, so we're recloaked. Although, obviously it's not super difficult for them to fix.
Receiving you.
There's something that moves really, really early. The cataphract can run up and machine gun this dude, which I think we ought to do.
Coordinates received.
Oh no, stealth reduced. Do we want to... Yeah, let's use the precision strike, because the other guy is a real non-threat at the moment. Okay. Remember, machine guns have a dramatically higher chance to hit, to land critical hits. So firing a machine gun into somebody's open torso section is very likely to result in in an ammo bin blowing up or whatever. I'm not going to give him the flamethrowers because there's a pretty reasonable chance this just kills him. And also, he's like a total non-threat at this point. We'll save flamethrower fuel. Oh, you had to hit him in the leg. Okay, a quick draw is a concern. That said, runs a lot of laser weapons and not that many heat sinks. So we can, of course, do some things about it. Can you get close enough to support laser him? Oh no, that's a shame. I mean, it technically does fulfill our goal to just run up and small laser this guy to death. It feels a little bit silly for us to spend so many support weapons on a guy who is not worth shooting at all. But also, getting the job done is good. Just not having to worry about it. That's... You know what, that said, I think I do in fact want to just try to bring the dragon down right now. We'll worry about getting a small laser hit later in the mission. Let's just reduce that incoming damage a bit, shall we? And then this thing's going to try to punch somebody, or... No, it's not. Weird. What a weird and definitely wrong decision to make. So I'll just submerge myself in this corporate water feature here. Okay, that guy right there, he's getting the full hard light special.
They've got a sensor lock on me.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, well now we're recloaked, and then they're gonna uncloak me again in a second here. I'm gonna actually reserve you down. Hold on. We really want the Warhammer to lead on this attack. I do love it when people shoot at the Stalker.
Is that it? I'm barely scratched.
Good to go.
It's possible that we could lower the Stalker's armor and have it, Actually, I can get behind him. Oh, this is gonna be a kill.
Ripping off.
Oh, I should probably vent all of the heated up coolant. This is definitely going to generate a little bit of heat. Okay, mission accomplished.
Target eliminated.
Now, I suppose I have shown my backside potentially to enemies. We have no idea where the enemies are right now. Let's make sure that we move Cataphract over to here to a position where I can actually... Can I do this in such a way that... Yeah. I want to make sure that all of our mechs are in it, but I also want some portion of the water to be in it.
Be there in a jiff.
Because it's very, very nice for the Stalker to be able to sit in the water.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts inbound.
This is a really fun team. I like this a lot. I'm so glad that I did what we had to do to buy the Cataphract. The Stealth Cataphract, because this is super cool. Uh-oh. We have fast-moving mechs that are good at revealing us. Also, is that a 55-ton mech moving on 4? They have shenanigans. They have some kind of initiative messing with thing. That's, yep. Would you believe I'm a native English speaker? Alright, this is going to move everybody out of the stealth, but it doesn't matter.
Heading out.
This thing can see us already. We gotta take that relatively seriously. Sourdough, could you please handle it? He has just one LRM-15 as a weapon? I'm assuming it's on the right side, yeah. Because they always put the weapons on the right side, the default designs. Okay, well that'll be the end of him.
Critical hit, Commander.
You cannot be this close to this many mechs while laying down. Alright, for the moment,
Awaiting orders.
the armor on the Warhammer will hold, but we gotta get clear of that problem.
Lifting off.
So this should be a kill, right? I can't imagine it surviving this. It has 90 total health. Alright, that'll get us our cloaking back.
Would be a kill.
And then we just have to be a little cautious about how we move forward. You do not have sensor lock, but we can move forward and stay cloaked. Hold on, I'm going to reserve down, just in case. Oh, they have something big.
They've got a lock on me.
Something big with sensor lock.
Standing by.
It could be a vehicle? Maybe? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see.
Confirmed.
So that is a rifleman. That's an 80-ton mech over there. So that's the real threat. This is an awesome or something. Well, I guess this guy is the next target. This is the next most dangerous thing. And I don't think we're going to try anything terribly fancy here.
Firing on target.
Alright. That's opened him up pretty well. The stalker can probably get something done. Just want to make sure I'm firing from a location where I am in his front arc.
I read you, Commander. Moving out. All weapons are go.
This is an awful lot of shots. Oof, very spread out. I think like 1 or 2 missiles hit his center. Very annoying. Okay, don't actually get to see what's going on here. There we go.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, so the cataphract... Boy, that's tough. Can we shoot him in the back arc? Oh, I can. Okay. Never mind. It's no longer tough. This is actually really good for us. How much health does he have here? 125? Okay, we should be able to get that done.
Affirmative.
Jesus. We have been really bad for property values in this area.
What's the
Just
plan?
accidentally flattening buildings left and right here. Now, obviously, I want to be real careful about how I do this, because it would be bad to show my own rear armor. How much health does this Griffin still have? 7. Okay, I was going to say, so we don't need to use Precision Strike, because probably one of the weapons will hit center, but actually, I'm going to use it just to drive up our hit chances, because they're very bad.
Locking on target.
Okay, there we go. So I'm curious what that 80-tonner is. It might be something where we actually want to try to take it in one piece. I think we're gonna stand in a place where the other thing won't have a shot on us. Or I guess I could just take cover. He does have bulwark. Alright, I'm gonna do it like this. Because I want to make sure that we get to hit this guy with the snub PPC and knock him over. We're going to take it easy here, because we do not have, There we go. Oh! I just cored him.
One less target.
Right, I suppose any one of those projectiles was sufficient. He did only have 16 center health.
I've been sensor locked.
Okay, well, it doesn't help for you to sensor lock me and then end your turn. That's not how the... Okay, whatever.
Got it.
You know, let them make whatever, whatever decisions they want to make, I guess.
Commander.
So you do have sensor lock. You do have traditional sensor lock. And we can get close enough to him to use it.
On the move. I've got a sensor lock.
It's a Zeus 6T. Hold on a second, I'm just going to tab back over here. Zeus 6T, not a mech that we need.
Yes, Commander.
That's a little bit of a shame. It was nice of him to stand in such a way that I think we should be able to get some rear armor shots, though.
Here we go.
Am I going to be able to fire my large laser? Just barely. Alright, we could aim, I suppose. May as well. Now, you know what? I'm just going to hit him. We'll go into the next turn with full resolve,
Rear
maybe.
armor it is.
Okay, center hit anyway. It's pretty good.
Yes, Commander.
I do not understand why he made the move he made here. Yeah, now this mech is not, in fact, going to be able to hit the rear armor. No, can't quite make it to the building. So I guess the question is, do I want to jump in at all, or do I just want to take the... I think I just take the short walk here.
Into position.
And we'll go ahead and hit him like this. We can afford to do this, because we have coolant vent available again. If I didn't have coolant vent available yet, I might have just not fired that turn, so that I'd be able to potentially alpha strike next turn, is the primary concern. God, I hope all these buildings got evacuated.
Waiting for orders.
Well, this is going to go very poorly for him. Because it's very, very easy for us to knock him over. I think the Cataphract could probably do it, right? Like that LB-10X generates a lot of stability damage. I don't actually know if machine guns do any stability. Yes, 0 times 5. They do no stability damage. Then there's not really a huge reason for me to move that far forward. I think I'll maintain stealth on the other people.
Affirmative.
Oh, I guess I walked out. Yeah, I walked the Stalker just out of range. So that's fine. Stalker's got lots of health. Do we want to work on coring him with this? I think I'm going to leave it for... Well, no, okay. I was going to say I'll leave it for everybody else. But the Dragonfly actually is worse at dealing focus damage, so...
Solid connection on that one.
How might I... Commander.
Disappointing not to get the knockdown, though. And then, I mean, we'll move up and do this, and it'll get the knockdown, but my suspicion is it will also kill him. Which makes the knockdown a little bit less necessary.
Here we go. Let's get this done. Hostile eliminated.
You know, we don't really use the Warhammer all that much anymore because of the fact that we have lots of other heavy mechs that have way more armor, but there's something to be said for it, you know? It's still a good, strong toy. Okay, so 400,000. We didn't really get any salvage there that we needed. This is the big problem with there being such a huge number of types of mechs in the game. It's just like there's a lot of stuff that is not on the priority list. We'll take a couple of medium lasers with plus 10 damage on them, I think. Yeah, nothing fun down here. We don't actually care about any of this stuff. I mean, like, finishing the Zeus isn't even really a priority for us. I don't think we need any more heavy mechs. Got the dragon piece and some other miscellaneous garbage. Okay. So that was a very successful episode. And then we got one more mission left here before we head off into space to do... I don't have any idea what. Something far to the south is what. Because I'm going to have to actually figure out what our... We're just kind of like doing whatever makes sense to do in this area up here. But I'm going to have to actually figure out what our 4 -100 reputations are going to be and then start working on those. Okay, on the whole, very successful. We have, what, a 3 skull left? Tracking an extremely heavy mech with Davian heraldry. It's almost certainly bait for a trap. Go over there and spring it, and then kill everyone. That is a thing we can totally do next time, you know, on Monday. So come back then for more robot shooting action. It's nice to be back. It's good to be back blowing stuff up. This series is very much a marathon and not a sprint, but I'm happy to be back to it. So come back Monday for more of that, and we'll see you then.